Yo, 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 yo. Gotta give you guys an extended intro because this is the 100th episode. We are the ill-advised wise guys. It's your boy Uche. I got my boy
QDZ for Sheezy here for the 100 time easy. 100 times, man. 100
Insert
times.
gunshots, insert explosions, insert everything that symbolizes a celebration. I want to give a special shout out to my fiance, man. She actually bought balloons that said 100. She bought 3 balloons, the number 1 and 2 zeros to symbolize his 100th episode. She surprised me with that. I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing. Thank you for being you. Shout out to her, man.
You know what wifey did for me? She got my Nando's from outside because I was out and about drinking, and I was like, hey, can you get my Nando's? That was my celebration prize. So thank you to these beautiful black women.
I agree. You know what's funny, man? Speaking of being outside, we linked up yesterday to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, the 100th episode. And I thought something was very interesting. Remember when we was at that one spot and there was some girl who started rapping to that one dude as like a form of flirting. Yo, that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a girl freestyle?
She was freestyle spitting. It was unbelievable, and she kept saying the same thing. She kept saying the same thing, but her delivery was good. Her delivery was nice.
Her delivery was pretty decent. Her bars were garbage,
yes,
but
they were.
I've never seen a girl try to spit at a dude, literally spitting. Like, you know how people say, yo, how dudes be like, I'm about to spit at this girl. She was spitting like in the lyrical sense at him, trying to flirt. I've never seen that before.
I was and I'm sure the aggression that she rapped with, I'm sure she was also spitting like saliva.
That too. That too.
She was aggressive. She was a killer rapper.
Shout out to that one dude who was a good sport, because like
you got a new good friend.
He kept saying the same thing. He's like, yo, shorty, I'm about knowledge. Like, but what are you saying though? Like, what are you saying?
I'm about this. This is what I'm attracted to. This is what I'm attracted to. And she's over here. Oh, your girl spit knowledge. Well, I got a booty.
Yeah. She's like, yo, but my waist is fat, just like my bank account. I'm like, yo, what is going on, man?
I was like, hey, she is pretty good because she's taking everything you're saying and making a freestyle out of it. That is a talent.
I agree, man.
That was definitely a highlight of the night, man.
Yo, there's a first for everything.
I love DC. That's
shout out to DC, man.
DC all day.
If that's happening in y'all local town where you go out and girls is hollering at you, maybe that's the new thing, man. Maybe dudes should spit at girls in the literal sense these days. Like, just walk up to a girl you interested in and just start rapping. Yo, like, just freestyle. You might get her number immediately.
That's how you get sprayed with mace. And I ain't talking about Mace the rapper. You get sprayed with mace with a C.
Yeah, man. But anyway, hopefully you guys are being safe out there. You know what I'm saying? If you are going out and hanging out, the world is opening back up. This is a beautiful time, man. And shout out to us, man. And by the way, shout out to everybody that participated in a little special thing that we're gonna roll out, to kind of like commemorate our 100th episode. We're gonna be dropping that on social media before this episode drops. Shout out to everybody. You know who you are. We appreciate you. Hey, let's get it,
brother. Shout out to you for rocking that medallion. It's so crispy, crispy. Remember that song, So Crispy. Yes, sir. Look at that. That joint looks like. That joint looked like you got it from a cereal box.
I was about to say, you know what it looks like? This joint looks like one of the Chuck E. Cheese coins. Don't it look like one of the Chuck E. Cheese coins?
The coin, the machine that grabs things like this.
It does. It does, man. You see, man. Yo, sometimes you gotta improvise, man. Nah, that's fact. It does.
Oh man.
But anyway, enough of the joking on my medallion. Even though it costed a nice little penny. But you know, we ain't here to talk about that.
Oh man.
Before we jump into the show, I do want to drop you know, a sponsored, you know, ad that our team created. Shout out to Leah.
Oh, I wanted to say something before you say that.
Yeah.
Welcome, Joe Budden customers. This is your new home for hip hop. We are welcome the people that have moved over from the Joe Budden podcast, which is officially in shaky grounds right now.
Oh man,
we welcome you, viewers.
That is a great point. Now I'm glad you said that, man. Listen, yeah, y'all have a home here. It's cool. Listen. Go ahead, get your popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Get whatever you was doing when you was listening to the Joe Budden podcast. Just click on this link. We'll welcome you with open arms.
Until they figure out what's going on with Joe Budden, we got you with your music news, and Ooch got you with his random rants because you know Joe Budden likes to rant. And only thing is, your veins don't pop up when you rant.
I was just about to say my veins don't pop, and I don't sweat while I'm ranting.
I sweat. Oh man,
you sweat when you're ranting? Oh man, go get you some deodorant, man. Extra deodorant.
Matter of fact, I'm sweating right now.
Facts. Let's
walk out.
Let's do it, man. Don Jones dropped a new project called Apollo Season. It's out right now, but you know, we're gonna get to the review later on in the show. But first, we want to show you guys this.
And if I lose myself today, I hope that you don't lose faith. This will crazy, it's okay. Never give up, I know you brave. Louis on my neck, you see I'm flexed up. Bow my head and send my prayers to heaven. I've been blessed up, I'm not here for French girl, blonde hair, bad way. Juicy, looking in the mood, saying we could catch a vibe on my side. Alright, body so hot, just a climate. Look up in the sky, I'm stargazing. This feels so amazing. This feels so amazing. I've been feeling so cold. White range iced up. White range iced up. I've been feeling so cold. I've been feeling so cold.
Pow, 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 pow. Again, shout out to the team for putting that together. Leah, shout out to you. And then also, if you're an artist out there that's looking for promo, you're looking for advertisement, you're looking to, you know, get on this show and promote your new music, promote whatever you got going on, send an email to I don't even remember our email. illadvisedwiseguys.@Q. Do you know our email? Come on, give it to him. Give it to him.
illadvisedwiseguys@gmail.com, right?
There you go. Yes. Thank you.
You would having issues with that?
Sheesh. Anyway.
What is it at? Is it at AOL.com?
It might be Hotmail. Is it Outlook? I don't know about you, man. I just think it's weird when people have an Outlook email address. That's always been weird to me. I don't know. iCloud at iCloud.com or some random ass shit.
That is very weird. That is very weird. I will admit.
But no,
I hesitate to respond to people.
Shout out to Don Jones. If you want to check out that project, it's on every platform right now. Features those 3 songs that were on the screen. We'll get to the review when we get towards the end of the show. But Q, let's jump into the show, shall we?
Yes, sir. I think so. I think it's a good idea.
Bam, bam. Let's do it, man. So check this out, man. The illustrious, the guy who's had his foot on people's neck the last week or two, J. Cole, Jermaine Cole, you know, dropped his new project, The Off Season. And I think it's appropriate because we've discussed, I think, the expectations of the project. We've discussed, how do we feel like Cole is going to, I guess, how's he going to sound this time around? What are his rankings of his albums? We've kind of talked around and about J. Cole, but I'm glad we actually got the project. I'm sure you've heard it. I know you reviewed it on ratingsgamemusic.com. That's out there if y'all want to go check that out. I'm pretty sure your rating was reasonable. I hope, because I didn't read it. But Q, let's do a little album review for the people, man. I think that's fitting, you know. So I'm gonna give you the floor first. I'm gonna give you the floor first.
Please do. Let me get the phone. So I was just like everybody else, waiting at 11 o'clock for this album to drop. Clearly, I knew that this was going to be the biggest thing in 2021. And you know, initially, what we all do for people like J. Cole is our expectation level rises. And so, since J. Cole hasn't dropped anything in what, 4 or 5 years or so, like the expectation levels for me is right here. And in life, do you know how hard it is to meet expectations when you set the expectations so high? I'm here to tell you right now, J. Cole met expectations with this album. He met expectations. Literally, one of the only issues I have with the album is the spaced out like titles. That thing, as a writer, that's impossible to deal with. I never used a space bar so much in my damn life. What was this? Do you know the significance of the spaces in the titles?
That is hilarious.
And the dots. Like what is the significance of that? Somebody needs to ask J. Cole. Somebody needs to get J. Cole out of the African League, call a timeout, and let's ask him. Because apparently J. Cole is playing basketball for the Rwanda Lakers or something like that.
Which is crazy.
Which is pretty cool. But I mean, the thing is,
wait. Is that really the team name? The Lakers?
I don't know.
Yo, that would be hilarious. The Rwanda Lakers. Come on, man.
Rwanda something. But J. Cole met expectations, guys. Like, this is something that we should all be proud of. J. Cole met expectations. So how did J. Cole meet expectations? First and foremost, the version of J. Cole that we get on this album is Killer Cole. This is the J. Cole. Somebody said it on Twitter. This is the J. Cole that is rapping like the rent is due. This is the J. Cole that all that fire that you expected him to have every time he stepped on the mic, he brought it this time around. J. Cole was not playing around when it came to flows, when it came to punchlines. I mean, some of these punchlines went over your head. I mean, we had a seance. Is that the correct word? We had a conversation about this during our tea party at Brooklyn and DC about how good of a line that little M on your hat, like you Luigi's brother. Woo! Like, that's a punchline that it takes like 5-10 minutes for you to internalize what he said. Like, he was at the top level. He was at his highest level as a rapper. What I said was J. Cole is somebody similar to Kendrick that likes to shift gears, right? And they like to, drive the proverbial rap wheel at like maybe 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour. Every once in a while, you might get them at 90 miles per hour. J. Cole was riding this rap car like it was 120 miles per hour. At 120 miles per hour. He didn't he pretty much hit his highest gear as a rapper. And as a fan of J. Cole, this is what you were expecting for years. This is kind of what you were expecting with KOD. This is what you were expecting with For Your Eyes Only. He brought it. Now, I'm not going to get to the particulars like you probably will. All I'm going to say is I think that when we all sit down and internalize this album fully, Applying Pressure is going to be considered one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. 95 South is going to be considered one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. Even Punching the Clock, a song that's only less than 2 minutes, one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. There's so many hard ass rap songs on this album, and that is my biggest takeaway from it. Those hard ass rap songs, and that J. Cole finally brought out Killer Cole. And it's a good album. It's a great album. It's a great album.
You know what? So I echo a lot of stuff that you said, and I'll try not to, I guess, repeat some of the stuff I agree with. But here's what I will say, man. I thought that while this album has only been out a few days, right? Don't know when you guys are going to be hearing this, but we've had a few days, really 2, right, to digest the album. And so I think a lot of times what happens is people are quick to the gun to try to label something as classic, or first listen. I think a lot of times it's very necessary for us to live and sit with music, right? And see how you feel a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 5 months later, 2 years later. What I can tell you without having that future hindsight that I'm referring to, this album is flawless. It's flawless. And I say that because I think the last few projects from J. Cole have not been flawless. They've had flaws to them. And I think that's been the cause for why people have complained. They've said, J. Cole, you don't work with enough people. They've said, J. Cole, we tired of you producing your own music. They said, J. Cole, you're giving us boring bars, like similar to what they accuse Nas of, and making like boring music, folding clothes. We joke about folding clothes on For Your Eyes Only. J. Cole even addresses that in this album. He talks about how he put that song out, and I think he was saying, I'm still folding clothes, by the way, guys. He had a much cooler and wittier bar. But the point is, he had flaws in a lot of his music. While J. Cole was rapping very well on KOD, he was rapping very well on For Your Eyes Only, he was doing it in different parts, in segments. I feel like this project was so well-rounded that this might be his most complete album. Complete as in, he gave us melodic voice Cole. He gave us killer rapper bar Cole. He gave us an amazing intro, which, by the way, I got to say that again. That intro with Cameron, bro. When I heard Cameron, when that song came on, I said, yo, what is happening? Like that song, that might be one of the best intros I've heard in the last few years, honestly. That is a phenomenal intro. The way that beat comes in, the way Cameron talks that swag shit, like in the middle, in the beginning of the song. The way, like you said, Cole came with the bars and the raps. The delivery was impeccable. I genuinely feel like this album is flawless. There was not a wasted song on this album. It was 12 songs. Under that mark of, remember last we was on Good in the Hood and you was talking about how like I like classic projects to be under, what'd you say, 13 or 15? What'd you say? What was the number?
13.
He did just that, right? He even, I don't think there was a wasted song on here. Every song was impactful. Every song mattered. And overall, man, I'm gonna give this album because I didn't hear your rating, by the way, because I want to get yours. I'm giving this album an A-. I'm giving this album an A-.
That was close to mine.
You know what? Fuck a minus. This is an A. I'm tired of the pluses and minuses. Fuck it. This is an A.
I'm going to do the pluses and minuses.
You do it. I'm not doing it.
I'm used to getting D pluses and C pluses and F pluses. So it's something that is normal to me. I'm giving it an A, bro. I'm giving it a B plus. And the thing is, a B plus is above average. A B plus is good. It's above good. That's what I think this song is. But it depends on how you look at it, right? Like, I think this album is great. I think it's great, but it's not the greatest album I've ever heard. It's not. And that's what I reserve for A's. Like, these are some of the greatest albums I've ever heard. I don't think it's the greatest album, but what I will say is this is Cole reaching his peak as a rapper. He reached his peak as a rapper on the album.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that to me is what I care about. Cole actually saying F the politics, F trying to be Farrakhan 2.0. I'm just going to hit you with serious ass bars to make you put respect on my name, point blank, period. And he did that. And as a Cole fan, that is what I care about.
You know what I like? You know what I like about J. Cole? Mm-hmm. Obviously, we got a lot of history with Cole because we were there from the mixtape era, the warm-up days. We were there. So this has been 12 years in the making, right? For us following J. Cole. What I like about J. Cole probably the most is that you remember when he put out that song called Middle Child, right? In one of his verses, I think it was the last verse, he even said something to the effect of he said, I'm stuck in the middle of two generations. I'm little bro and big bro all at once, right? That was the whole point of the Middle Child song, right? He's in the middle, right? I think that J. Cole bridges the gap of rap, hip hop music extremely well. Here's a dude that at his core is a rapidy rap type dude. But what I liked about what he did on songs like Amari, right? He brought the melody to the show. You know what I'm saying? On songs like My Life, he collaborating again with 21 Savage, right? He's bringing other elements, even from a production standpoint. It was well rounded. You had hard, soulful beats, you had trap beats, you really had everything. That this you get what I'm saying? Like, I think he just bridges different worlds of rap music very, very well. And like I said, I firmly believe this album is an A. The only reason why I don't think this is his best project, and I still give 2014 Forest Hills Drive the nod over this one, is because I feel like Forest Hills Drive was a little bit, it was more experimental at that point. I feel like Cole was just in a different musical bag back then, where he made songs like Apparently, if you remember, like he was kind of like singing in a way on like half that project, and he just did. You used the term "move the needle." I thought he moved the needle on that project. That is the only reason why I would give Cole 2014 Forest Hills Drive the nod over this one, as in terms of the list, my list for Cole. But this is a damn good project, bro.
Well,
this is damn good.
What I said, it's something I said. This is probably the last thing I'll say. I said something on the last episode. I said there's a difference between making a great body of work and then making a body of work that's dear to your heart. I think 2014 Forest Hill Drive is both. It's a great body of work and it's a body of work that's dear to your heart. Like it's youthful. It's special. It's like it holds a special place in our hearts. And so I think he was in a certain pocket. He was in a certain place in his life that made the music just a little more powerful, a little more impactful, a little more what else word can I use? A little more
great. I mean, say whatever. It was just special.
And this one I think felt more like a treat. It's a great body of work. But this is more of a treat to his diehard fans to let you know, like, yo, I am top 5. I am one of the best rappers in the game right now. I don't need to prove that to myself. I'm now going to prove it to you. And I think that's what makes it so special. It's almost like getting a version of Michael Jordan, where it's one thing to get Michael Jordan when he's trying to win a game, but it's another thing to get Michael Jordan to watch him when he's being vengeful. When you slighted Michael Jordan and you get to see that version, the killer Michael Jordan, that's a treat to fans all over. And that's what I hope people appreciate. So to kind of branch off with that, can we talk about top 5 rappers list and how difficult it has become to make these lists? Off camera, I vehemently yelled at Uch, and veins were popping, and I was sweating. Veins were popping.
You look like Joe Budden. There you go.
And my hair started falling out because I said, "Yo, people assume, like, when people say that these are the top 5 rappers, it's clearly somebody's opinion, because there's no way to measure who the top 5 rappers are, because everybody has their own opinion." So the problem in these days, in my opinion, is that rappers are so versatile, so it's hard to make a list. Some are considered more producers, some sing, some blah blah blah. So all in all, in a nutshell, what is your opinion on the top 5 list? And how difficult do you think it is to construct these lists as a listener?
Yeah, man. I think it is becoming difficult. And to be honest with you, I think most people's list is so trash to me. Like, did you see The Game? He put out his top 10 best rappers alive list. Probably one of the trashiest lists I've ever seen in my life. Because, like,
I'm gonna pull it up while you're
please. Yeah, I would like for you, because I saw a couple names on there in the ranking. It was just so asinine. It didn't make any sense. But I digress. But also in that respect, I do respect people's ability to put together lists of their own, right? And I think that's my other thing with it is like, at the end of the day, if you want to have your own list, great. We can go back and forth on who like you have in your list and who you don't, and that's all good. I think that where things are starting to get tricky is the era of hip hop we are in now, where melody is being used. There's a whole, if we wanted to, we can have a whole genre called melodic rap, melodic hip hop. That can literally be a subgenre of hip hop if we wanted it to be. And I think that's kind of messing up where people are being ranked and where they're not being ranked. So yeah, I really feel like the melody, the fact that people are singing more, the fact that that's become mainstream, the fact that, you know, you can have a Grammys list of top hip hop albums, and people like Roddy Ricch, who dropped a phenomenal album in 2019. People like Lil Baby, who dropped a very good, critically acclaimed album in 2019, were excluded from a list that had more rapidy rap type dudes. So I think ultimately, fans, people of rappers are going to have to start making omissions to the way that they're going to have to start changing the criteria for how rappers are being judged now, because it's no longer about bars, quote unquote. This is the problem that Drake is having. This is the problem that this is the reason why people don't respect. There's some people who disrespect Drake's pen as a rapper so egregiously. It's insulting that y'all don't see what Drake is able to do as a lyricist sometimes because of the fact that he puts together love songs. And I think that, or what you would consider as a love song, Certified Lover Boy, hopefully that shit drops soon. But the point is, I do think it's getting very difficult, man. And it's not easy to put together these lists. Let's be real. Like, some of this shit is not easy. So we got to also be very clear. Like, let's try to, but I think the overall point is, let's try to change the criteria as the genre is evolving. That is, I think, what we need to kind of focus on. What do you think, Q?
Well, I mean, I was looking at Game's list.
Yeah, what's his list?
So I have it. So it's actually not bad. He has Jay-Z at 1, Nas 2, Lil Wayne 3, which I agree. 4 Eminem, 5 Kendrick, 6 Snoop Dogg, 7 Drake, 8 Andre 3000, 9 J. Cole, and then 10 Lil Baby. I think the Lil Baby one is the one that got people kind of like.
How is Lil Baby?
So many people you could have put on there. I mean, I honestly, how is
Lil Baby in that? Honestly.
At this point, I think.
And how is Snoop Dogg? And how is Snoop Dogg in there?
Well, I mean, I can see Snoop Dogg. I'm okay with Snoop Dogg. I'm okay with Snoop Dogg.
Are we talking? See, this is what I'm saying. Are we talking about successfulness? Are we talking about acclaim? Or are we talking about
Snoop Dogg has had a very good career. Snoop Dogg,
absolutely.
Very good rap.
Snoop Dogg is the most popular, recognizable rapper of all time.
Snoop Dogg has had a very good rap career. He's had a very good rap career. To be specific, he had a very good rap career. So from Game's list, in my head, I deviate, and I was like, there was a line Drake said. Remember this line from Drake on 2 Amounts by 2 Chainz?
Big Amount.
Big Amount by 2 Chainz, which I think that's one of Drake's best verses on that song. I'm gonna read it to you. He said, look, I got a big amount. I think I'm the biggest out. Got hits and I even put it out. And you ain't even put it out. Got the Billboard melodies. Rap is something I do on the side. Crossed over to the other side and I didn't even have to die. Like, clearly, Drake knows. The world knows this guy's nice. Can we? He is nice. Stop. Like, I remember like a couple years ago, just having to, I felt embarrassed to say that I thought Drake was a good rapper. That used to be an embarrassing thing to people. It used to be like, Drake, you don't know nothing about rap. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm blown away by some of these rap verses that Drake is putting out. I know, we all know, Drake is nice on the mic. Drake is probably better than your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. But it's the fact that he, like he said, he crossed over to the other side. He got the Billboard melodies. That's why you love Drake, but don't sleep on his pen game as a rapper. Please. He's better than a good chunk of the dudes out here. So it's to me is that, and then Kanye, right? Kanye is the one that I think is the most fishiest. That is the hardest one to add on list, because I think Kanye's impact as a rapper, like when you talk about like generational rappers, you talk about rappers that changed the game. I can't tell you that there's another rapper that changed the game more than Kanye. I can't tell you. You know how they say Steph Curry changed the NBA with his shooting, like a 3-point shooting, and he completely changed the game, which I believe is facts. He probably changed the game more than LeBron changed the game. Let's be real. He has.
Yeah,
he
definitely did. He definitely did. He definitely
so
did.
To me, Kanye West changed hip hop to a point where a lot of these people, let's be real, a lot of these people don't exist without Kanye. I'm not sure who, some people have Lupe on their list. I'm not sure there's a Lupe without Kanye. I'm not sure there's a Drake without Kanye. I'm not sure there's a J. Cole without Kanye. I'm not sure there's Kendrick without Kanye. So with Kanye's influence, with all the stuff that Kanye was able to accomplish as a rapper, how can we omit him from the list? So these are some of the people I think about. I think about Lauryn Hill. I think about Common. I think about it's almost like you got to factor in their skills, but then you got to also factor in impact. You got to factor in their career. Like you said, with Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Snoop Dogg is not skill-wise, toe for toe. I don't think he can go bar for bar of a lot of people, but his impact, his career.
Exactly.
His career he has a great career as an artist. So to me, it's hard.
difficult. It's difficult. Like I said, it's difficult.
It's difficult, but I will say this. I do think that we need to stop grading rappers by who can go toe to toe with bars to bar. And you know the funny thing about this, as I try to implore that Kanye should be on a lot of people's list. Do you know who should be taken off a lot of people's list? Eminem. And he's gonna say this on his next album. Eminem should probably be taken off a lot of people's list.
Explain.
While Eminem is a great rapper, great bar for bar, I'm not sure his music is as great as J. Cole's music, as Kendrick.
Did you say you're not sure? It's not.
I'm being nice.
It is not. So, let's be very clear.
I will put Eminem on the top 15. I'll say top 15. My top 15. Because I think he's a very skilled, talented rapper. But there's other things that make somebody, I think, a complete rapper. It's not like back in the day where it's like these people that can kill people on bar for bars. It's not like that no more. And that's what I think we got to change.
And that's the point, right? I think that to me right there is how I think we should cap off this combo, is that, let's kind of end it how we kind of started it, which is it is becoming difficult to rank rappers because rappers are doing more than just what we stereotypically and traditionally know rappers to do, which is just rap, right? And so you got to be somebody to factor that in if you really want to have a list that has merit to me. You know what I mean? And by the way, I'm not in the business of ranking rappers. That shit is kind of corny to me. I honestly do not like having top rapper conversations. I just don't. It's stupid because at the end of the day, it's so subjective and everybody has their own list. We don't even need to go back and forth. I'm just simply saying, when you're coming up with your list, maybe you should tweak your criteria based on how the game is evolving. That's it.
And then maybe you should just like not think, like, you got to remember what the impact these people had. Like I think that it's such a what have you done for me lately world. Like T.I. should be on people's list, right? T.I. should absolutely be on people's list. Rick Ross, T.I. when he was out was one of the greatest, let me not say greatest, but one of the best rappers at the time. T.I. had a great run. T.I. should be on list. The Game should be on list. Rick Ross should be on people's list. Like these are people that I think it's almost like embarrassing to say. So it's almost like people don't want to be like embarrassed to be told that you don't like hip hop because you like these people. And it's interesting. It's interesting.
And I do want to say this, and this is the last thing I'll say. There's some people, this is why it's so tricky. because there's some people like 50 Cent where they absolutely had an amazing impact on the game, but they will never be in anybody's top 20 list. I promise you. You will not see 50 Cent's name anywhere listed. It doesn't mean he wasn't great. It doesn't mean he didn't have impact. It doesn't even mean he wasn't a great rapper. 50 Cent can rap like really well, right?
Yeah. But 50 Cent was fantastic.
But that tells you, how hard it is to put together. Listen, why you kind of have to factor in a lot of different things.
You got
50 Cent is I think a really good explanation or example of somebody who you need to factor in more than just his ability to rap when you really want to have a meaningful conversation ranking artists one over the other. But that's all I'll say.
50 Cent should have been. I think 50 Cent was probably the name the game should have had at 10. I think he's the name they should have.
How do you, did they mend their issue? Did they mend their issue that they had with each other? Because that really matters.
I mean, I don't know, but I mean the fact that he put Lil Baby. I love Lil Baby, but not yet. It's too close. It's too soon.
I will say this. I thought about talking about this on the show, but I'll throw it in here. Charlemagne and Wayno are claiming that we've entered the Lil Baby era. When I hear something like that, that makes me believe that Lil Baby's going to carry the mantle. He's going to move the needle for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And without getting into that discussion, they might be right. But they might be right. They might be right.
I love Lil Baby. They might be right. But if Lil Baby has a run that lasts a couple more years, 2-3 more years, I would be shocked. I would be surprised.
You think he's done?
I'm not saying he's done. I don't think he'll be done in the next year or two, but I'm not sure he'll be as big as he is now. And it has nothing to do with his skill or anything like that. But I would be surprised. Let's keep it at that. I'll be surprised.
Well, how about this? Because I do think that's a great segue to our next topic, which I think we should move on to. But before we move on, if you guys have any thoughts or comments, hit us on social media, hit us on the Instagram, Twitter. Let us know your thoughts. YouTube as well. Check it out. But yeah, no. Speaking of Lil Baby, but is he not on QC along with the Migos? Right?
Yeah, he is. That's a great segue. You're getting better at this. Bro, you're getting better at this thing called podcasting.
I does this, man. I does this. But no, seriously though, like Lil Baby, QC, just like the Migos, these are this is a label that's really been dominating in hip hop. If we being real, for like the last 5 years, easily the last 5 years, there may not. I don't believe there's another label, independent label, that is moving the needle, holding the mantle, carrying the torch more than QC. And so speaking of QC, Migos dropped a new song called Straightening, right? It's a joint that's good, apparently going to be on Culture 3, which I think is dropping this year. We've seen Offset here and there feature on a couple joints. We've seen Quavo have a sighting. Haven't really seen too much from Takeoff independently, but I want to know from you, man, because this seems like the second wind, maybe even the third wind of the Migos, right? It seems like they're on their third leg of their career. But do you think that the Migos can reach a new level? Like, do you think that they've seen their better days, or do you think that they can actually get better than what we've seen them in the past? What do you think, man? You're on mute.
I'm gonna say this to start off. People don't remember how big the Migos were just like 3-4 years ago. I think people forget how big they were. Remember, the Migos were on TV a lot. The Migos were on Atlanta. They were on with Childish Gambino. The Migos did songs with Frank Ocean. The Migos had their own potato chips. The Migos had what else? They were going platinum. The Migos were having world premieres for their music.
The Migos was in every commercial.
The Migos were in every commercial, even as we speak. Like, do you remember the dab? They created the dab, a dance that is played in NBA arenas with little white kids that don't even probably don't even know what trap is.
Brother,
don't even know what the bando is. They're dabbing.
Hillary Clinton was dabbing.
Hillary Clinton was dabbing. The dab was a phenomenon. They created the dab. They let you know about it too. They every single song they say, they created the dab. They created the dab.
Nah, they used to say that shit in every song,
something.
Man.
They created the
They
dab.
don't say that shit
they
no
used
more.
To say,
man.
They used to say smelling like left the trap smelling like Funyuns. That we created the
dab. Mama.
But they were huge. Yeah. And then on top of that, just 3-4 years ago, Quavo was a hook killer. There's only a few in the history of hip hop hook killers that you were like, yo, this dude, anytime you add him to a hook on a song, is gonna blow up. Quavo had his time where he was a complete hook killer. Yeah. And then even when they dropped their solo albums, Offset dropped his solo album, it did very well. Quavo dropped his solo album, it did very well. And then the other guy dropped his solo album, it did pretty good.
The other guy. Yo, put some respect. Say his name, man.
Take off.
What's wrong with you, man? Yo, by the way,
they beat people up. By the way, I don't want no smoke.
Yeah. They fucked up Justin LeBoy with that Saweetie shit. Please knock it off.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do want to say Takeoff's album was better than Quavo's solo joint.
You think so?
Say that. Yes.
Quavo's was. I didn't like.
Quavo's was like absolutely disappointing. Like it just wasn't good at all.
I didn't like Quavo's album, but yeah. So. Do I think that? So essentially, what you're asking me is, do I think that with everything that I just mentioned?
Yes.
Do I think that they can top that?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's. I will say that I do think that the Migos are good. I do think that I do think that Offset is a great rapper. I think Takeoff is pretty good too. And Quavo, I think, has the appeal. He's a star. Like Quavo to me is a star. I do think that they're really good rappers, but kind of going back to what we said earlier about Lil Baby, and I didn't really elaborate to you guys why I don't think that Lil Baby would have a run 3-4 years long, is because there's 100 different Lil Babies now. There's so many people trying to be him, trying to take his spot, and I can see 5 or 6 different Lil Babies doing what he does, taking the same type of beats that he does, and to a point where we get Lil Baby fatigue. Remember that? Where you get so many different like I think that's what's going to happen with Playboy Cardi also. We're going to get Playboy Cardi fatigue. We're going to get Lil Uzi Vert fatigue because there's so many different of them.
I think that's what happened to the Migos. We got Migos fatigue. I
think we get in Migos fatigue is because there's so many different types of artists that are doing what Migos are doing. And so now, even though they've been gone for a while, Culture 2 came out how many years ago? When I heard Straightening, I felt like, oh man, another Migos song. But we haven't heard that many.
We haven't got a Migos song in like 2 years, damn near, or like a year and a half, probably.
They never left because there's so many different artists like the Migos.
Damn.
So I think
I like the way you put that.
I think that's a problem, and that's where the J. Coles of the world, Kendricks of the world are very. What they were able to do is such a distinctive sound. You never get tired of J. Cole. You never get tired of Drake because Drake is so good at what he does. It's not even about that. It's people can't do what Drake does.
Yeah.
Too many artists can do what Migos do. And I think that's the issue. It's not even an issue. That's just the reason why I don't think that they can reach the heights that they did. Do you remember think about the first time you heard a Migos song and how they were flowing on that joint? I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. I've never heard something like this before.
For sure. Now, the thing is, I think the short answer is no. I don't think that they can reach the level that they were at before. And I do like the way that you kind of concluded there where you was talking about like fatigue. Like that is a real thing. I don't think enough people are talking about that. Like, one of the reasons I give Kanye West a lot of credit, just overall, right? We were talking about him earlier, but one of the things I give Kanye West probably the most credit that nobody else has successfully done at the level he's done it at is reinventing himself every time he came out with an album again. Think about it. Every single project that Kanye West has dropped, The man reinvented his entire swag. He reinvented the music. He tried to incorporate fresh ideas, tried to just sprinkle in freshness into what he's doing. And I think that the Migos, if there's any knock on the Migos, is it seems they're limited musically, right? And I think that those be the things that cause artists to have that cause artists to not have the longevity, or cause somebody like you to feel like Lil Baby is not going to be here for the next year, and he's not going to be as hot for the next year, 2 from now, right? It's because it almost seems like you feel like he is not dynamic enough musically to maybe go into a different gear. I know you didn't say that directly, but that's kind of how I took what you were saying. It's like you don't really feel like Lil Baby is musically diverse enough to really do different things to where we're not going to be, I guess, tired of his sound a year or two from now, right?
Baby's, the fact of the matter is, the Baby, if the Baby is going to have a long career.
Wait, Lil Baby or the Baby? Who we
sorry,
talking
Lil Baby. I'm gonna say Lil Baby.
Okay.
If Lil Baby's going to have a long career, he has to. Your great point. He has to reinvent himself multiple times. Like, that's who have long career. The people that have long careers are the people that reinvent themselves. But here's the thing: it's not a knock on Lil Baby. It just it displays the greatness of the people that we think are great, that have long careers. It just displays their greatness. Drake is not the same dude now that he was before. Like, right. Drake is completely different now. Drake's swag, he's completely different swag wise. And Lil Baby, which I've not really seen an adjustment from Lil Baby, which it's okay. I've not seen an adjustment.
He's scorching hot. He don't need to switch nothing up yet.
He doesn't got to switch anything up. That's why, like, people laugh at me, and you laughed at me, right? When I said Machine Gun Kelly. Remember Machine Gun Kelly had that album that dropped and we were trashing it? And I was like, this is actually not that
alternative.
Bad.
Was alternative rock?
It was an EP.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
He was introducing.
We were in Vegas. I remember when we were when that joint dropped a couple years ago. But yeah,
if Machine Gun Kelly did not switch up his style, I'm not sure he would have a career right now. If he did not start to introduce alternative pop, alternative rock into his arsenal, we're not talking about him. Another person like Mac Miller was a killer rapper. Like Mac Miller, people don't realize how good of a rapper Mac Miller was, like bar for bar, which Mac Miller should be on people's top list also. Bar for bar, but Mac Miller completely switched up his style. Like as he is getting older, he started to switch into singing, blues, jazz, all this stuff. That to me is imperative. And based off of Straightening, right?
Which, by the way, the hook is awful. Speaking of Quavo being a killer master at hooks, that is not one of his better ones.
Look. Based off Straightening, I don't see major adjustments for Migos. I don't.
Exactly.
And that's okay. That's okay.
It is okay. And I want to be clear. Like, let's not act like the Migos didn't have an amazing run, as you stated, right? Like they've accomplished some amazing things, and I do. Here's one of the things that I love about the Migos the most. I like when people come for their respect. They came out and said,
I loved it.
Came out and said, listen, we are the culture. We're culture, and it was facts. It was no debating it. Like, don't even dare debate them.
I said it. Go look at Ratings Game Music. I'm going to read the post. I literally said, yo, what I do find interesting about the song is that it almost feels like each member in the group made it a mission to remind the world how trappish, rich, violent, authentic, and confrontational that they are. And I was like, that was nice. It was almost like, hey, remember us? Like, yeah, we were them dudes.
No, for
so
real.
I like that was the best thing about the song. In my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah, let us know what you guys think though. Social media, YouTube, man. I think I like having these type of discussions because like it really, maybe there's an angle that I'm missing. Maybe I'm totally wrong and they got some different type of energy coming on that project, but maybe that's just not the song that they release. Who knows? We'll find out when the album drops or when the other singles release. But let us know on social media, man. Let's move on though.
They did have some surprises on their last. They did have some surprises on their last album. I did not expect them to drop a song like Narcos. I did not.
True. No, that's
fact. Expect them to drop a B-boy joint with Pharrell. I did not expect that.
Oh, chopsticks.
Chopsticks. I didn't
Chopsticks.
expect that. So they did have some
Right.
surprises. So they are willing to experiment.
Agreed.
Next topic. T Grizzly urges rappers to get life insurance. Yes, life insurance. Sounds for you young whippersnappers, you young jits. You probably don't know what the hell life insurance is. You're like, life insurance. You know what? Matter of fact, is life insurance gangster? Like, to say you got life insurance, is that gangster? Is that considered gangster? Or is that like soft? But anyway, T Grizzly, I kind of want to, what I want to do is I want to actually read the quote that T Grizzly said, and then I will then ask you the question. Let me pull it up.
Check this out. While you're looking for it, you can find the quote and we can get the exact words he used. But listen, to answer that question directly, I don't feel like it is gangster. Meaning, I don't think rappers view life insurance as being gangster. I don't think rappers view a lot of things that is actually really gangster as something that they should be doing. You know what this actually reminds me of? It reminds me of how, historically, the term real nigga has been overused. You know, when people be like, yo, I'm a real nigga, I'm a real one. But really, like, the connotation behind that phrase just means you're tough and you're dangerous and you're aggressive and you're angry. You know what I'm saying? You're not to be messed with. Why is that what people need to be aspiring to? I always thought that was weird and backwards. And while I don't live that life that none of these street dudes is talking about, what I can say is I think it's whack to to lead with those things as being considered a real one. What about respect? What about being loyal? What about being honorable? What about taking care of your family? Right? What about being a good dad? I think taking care of your family is right in line with the life insurance conversation. Like that's a part of it.
It is.
That's a part of it.
To kind of prove your point, remember that song Bun B made with Sean Kingston? That's gangsta. Remember that? Right?
Yes.
Remember in that song, Bun B is saying what he actually thinks is gangsta, and is like taking care of your parents, buying your house, being a good father. Like, that's really gangsta. Gangsta is not shooting people and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because I think rap is really going in a good place in terms of vulnerability, in terms of being
therapy,
about therapy, acknowledging things like mental health and stuff like that. So here's the thing that T Grizzly said, which, by the way, T Grizzly is a very intelligent rapper. Very intelligent.
The man made an album called The Smartest. Come on.
He's the smartest. That's true. He did the smartest. Come on, he's a very intelligent rapper. So what he said was, so look, right? As rappers, as successful black men from the trenches, we are the number one target, and we are the least prepared. So I feel like everybody should have life insurance. I need everybody to go get life insurance if you ain't got it. If you got kids, I need you to go get a will set up. Bro, for your kids. Do it for your kids. So it's true. Like, every day, I'm hearing that another rapper has been either shot, another rapper's got pulled up on, another rapper. Like, it makes for interesting stories.
Right.
But as somebody that's living the life, it only makes sense that, you do certain things to set yourself up for success and your family for success. Because, one of the most heartbreaking things, I'm not going to lie, one of the most heartbreaking things is to see the impact that losing Nipsey had on not only the industry, but his kids, how it had on Lauren London. Like, we're seeing it in real time. Right. It's, the impact that Kobe Bryant's passing had on his kids, his wife. It's like, now luckily some of these people, they financially they're straight, but like, what about the rapper that's on the come up? What about the singer that's on the come up? Like, these are things to think. On the flip side, it's essentially preparing for the worst. It's essentially preparing for the worst, and that scares people. It scares me, but I'm glad to see somebody who's influential in his field say it, because hopefully it has a trickle down effect, because this is important. This is relevant.
Oh yeah.
This
Let's
is
not.
dope.
You see, this is. I wish that T Grizzly was a bigger artist to speak that type of message from a bigger platform, bigger mountaintop, because sometimes that does matter, right? It's not always about the message.
Sure.
Sometimes it is about the messenger, right? Like, we would be naive to think that if J. Cole said that, the same exact thing that T Grizzly said, it would not have it would have a different impact, a greater impact, right? And so I feel like if we all keeping it 8 more than 92 with it, aka 100.
Bars.
Yeah. Keep it 8 more than 92 with it, 100. This is episode 100. We got to keep it 100, right? At all times.
That is bars galore.
I think that we've seen countless rapper over the last year or two come out and say things like being a rapper is one of the most dangerous jobs right now, right? I've heard Jim Jones say that. I've heard just different people kind of echo that with all the people we've seen die, right? Sorry, not die, getting murdered in cold blood a lot of this time. And I'm not even saying whether who was right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, dudes are dying in this industry in rap. We're not seeing that in other genres. And so I think in order to protect yourself and your family, because that's being gangster, protecting your family, life insurance is probably the least you can do, because it really takes 5 seconds to do. Like, you can literally take out a policy in 5 seconds, call somebody and be like, take a couple $1 million policy. If something ever happens to you, your family at least is taken care of financially. That is probably the least you can do. And I think depending on the industry, depending on the job, the occupation, you probably should think about things like that. Life insurance, wills, trust funds, all types of things that we can get into. But of course, we all know controversy sells, and rappers are not talking about constructive things like that. But I think it's going to take people like us. Hopefully, we can get bigger as a platform and really start speaking constructive things like this to the freaking community, man. These things are necessary.
To second some of those, sentiments that people like T Grizzly is saying, I second every single thing T Grizzly said. I second it.
Big facts. I think that concludes the music topics, man. I like those segments. I like those topics. We hope you guys do too. If you're listening to this on any platform, man, please, we hope you hit that subscribe button, including YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's take a little break. We are back with our indie review segment, here to give you guys some indie reviews from, some submissions that we've gotten. And as always, if you're an artist out there looking for feedback, you want us to give our thoughts on your new music, not thoughts to be confused with the thotties that be in the cloud. I'm talking about ill-advised thoughts, the ones that come in, the ones that are, from the top of the brain. If you want us to tell you what we think of your music, hit us on our email, submit on www.illadvisedwiseguys.com/contact, and get in contact with your guys. Q, you got any thoughts overall before we jump into this?
Of course, I don't have no thoughts.
Yeah, you're a married man. Let's be very clear.
I've been 6 feet. I've been making sure having my distance from people. No thoughts.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to check, Listen, like J. Cole said, man, sometimes it's cool to just have no thoughts. Did you hear his LA Leakers freestyle?
I didn't, but I did hear the Bill Cosby part.
Yo, that was crazy. What'd you think of that, man?
I thought it was a sick ass line.
He said, "Yo, if they sleeping on me, then fuck them."
Every synonym of sick. But yeah,
neither here nor there though. Shout out to everybody who submitted. We're gonna get into a couple artists, but let's not waste any time. And guess what I got for our 100th episode? Q, you're gonna be shocked. I'm giving them what they remember from the beginning of this segment. You were asking about it last episode. You said, "Man, where did it go?" I said, "Nah,
it's back like cooked crack."
I just didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? But I wanted to bring it back out for the 100th episode because we keeping it 8 more than 92 with it.
There we go. So there you go, recycling lines. These be the reasons why people like Migos. I don't know about the longevity because the recycling of lines.
No, it was meant to be recycled. Listen, by the way, you know, before this
you
episode
could have
started,
said 93 plus 7, 92
it,
but then
it don't hit as harder. Okay,
okay,
listen,
gotcha.
you know, before this episode started, I said, man, like, I think I'm just gonna annoyingly keep it 8 more than 92 with it, just to be like annoying.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's jump right into this, man. Enough of the pointless intro. First song we got on the docket is by a brother by the name PartTimeLyricist. Shout out to you for submitting your song Nightmares. You know, I want to give you your kudos because you've been rocking with us on IG, man. We see you with the comments, we see you engaging with us. So again, appreciate that. Now it's time to check out your song, my brother. Let's get into this, man. This is Nightmares by PartTimeLyricist. What an interesting name. As always, Q, let me know if you can hear this. Let's go. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Nice little soulful beat.
For sure.
Nightmares let me feel alive. Lullabies let me paralyzed. I remember when I really was an optimist, but that was back when I was watching Optimus. Now I'm 25, feeling like I'm past prime. Don't know why you talk about depression and shit. I'm gonna
skip a little bit.
925 feeling
maybe it's a sign that I need to switch paradigms, but I'm too afraid of stepping out of line. This is the type of thinking that'll shake you to the corpus. Mom and dad try to paint a pretty picture of the real world, but the real world was the real world.
Okay.
Paint a pretty picture of the real world, but the real world was the real world.
No, you know what? I'll start it out, Q. I like the chill vibes on this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that PartTimeLyricist was able to, I think, capture the energy and of what the production was really calling for. You know, what I also like is the fact that he spoke. And I like to make this point all the time where it's like we don't really know any of these artists, right? That's the beauty of music. Is you listen to an artist and you say, okay, what is it that they're saying? How does it feel? Do I think this person is genuine? Do I think they're living the life and the raps that they're saying? I feel like PartTimeLyricist was extremely convincing. He expressed himself very well over this song, giving us heartfelt bars, talked about the vulnerabilities, talked about depression, talked about how, all the things that he's kind of battling with, as he moves through this world we call life. And I like it. I like it a lot, man. I don't really have that many, if any, bad things to say, man. I think it was a well-rounded song. Didn't really call, in my opinion, didn't really call for too much of a switch up as far as like flows and melodies. I think that, again, he did what the beat called for. And so if I'm grading this, which we always do, I'm going to give this song a strong 4 out of 5. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a little bit higher is because I just feel like there's another level maybe that he could tap into lyrically. There's another level maybe musically he could tap into. And so do I think this is his best song? Who knows? Maybe. I haven't heard anything else from him, but I'm going to leave room for maybe being wowed. And so to me, this is a 4 out of 5. Q, what do you think?
Yes, I agree. 4 out of 5. So the things, there's things that stick out to you, and then there's things that, you have to kind of listen to a little more when you're listening to music. So the 3 things that stick out to me is his passion. Amazing. It jumps out at you. Like, he makes sure that you feel every single word that comes out of his mouth. Number 2, I thought that he had some really sly, slick, clever punchlines. I really loved the line about, 925, a little bit past prime. That was, I searched for punchlines I've never heard before. That is one I've never heard before. And then number 3, his flows. He rides the beat extremely well. Soulful beat that has about a sort of an unorthodox tempo. He finds ways to just kind of thrive in that tempo, which I think is pretty dope for him, and shows off his skills. I do agree with you. There is an element of the song that I think can be taken to another level. Maybe a hook that stands out more, or maybe some melodies would take it to like a 5 out of 5. But I think a 4 out of 5 is good, and a 4 out of 5 means it's a good song.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing. 4 out of 5, I think, is a good song.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man, for submitting a really good song, man. And
part-time lyricist. That's
part-time
dope. What do you do full time?
I guess not rap. Who knows, man?
Maybe does coins.
I'm always, to be honest with you, I'm always surprised to see stage names of rappers and artists like that. That's always intriguing to me. Like, how do you determine the song? Like, when people call themselves Lil this, okay, fine. You clearly didn't take time to really get into your bag and figure out a name. But like, come on, part-time lyric. What does that even mean? Like, you really going through with that name as a rapper? That's dope to me. That's dope.
Name.
That's dope.
Slick name.
Yeah, man. All right. Let's keep it moving.
Next song is Crimson Discord, Cleopatra. Cleopatra, man. Crimson Discord, Cleopatra. Let's get into this. So what made Cleopatra? What made her so amazing? Like, the actual Cleopatra. What was she like? Stunningly beautiful? Was she like a savage?
You know what, man?
Before Christ savage? Was she litty?
Before, you mean like Mary Magdalene?
Who?
Yo, what? Huh? What do you
mean? Is this a Bible name? If it's a Bible name, I can't help you.
It is. Apparently, listen. I ain't gonna get into it, man. Listen, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm not gonna do from here on out as we go into the 3-digit episode name. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly, which I already do anyway. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly when I don't know. I don't know anything about Cleopatra, so I can't answer your question, Q.
Okay, thank you.
But maybe if we hear this song, we'll learn. How about that?
I doubt it, but hey,
I doubt it too.
That's a good segue.
I doubt it too. But let's get into this, man. Cleopatra by Crimson Discord. I'm assuming this is a group because I did hear multiple vocals, I think, when we heard this earlier. Let's get into it. Thumbs up if you can hear this. All right, cool.
It's like funky.
Bro, this is sounding like a seance. Some type of meeting of the minds is about to happen. Are you catching that vibe? Are you getting that energy?
Yeah, on Teams. Like a meetup on Zoom.
Jeez.
This is 2021, man.
An audience with she who's on the throne. Beware her guile, seductive wild, do not go alone.
Okay. Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward a bit.
Hold on, this song was made in 2021.
I don't think so, man. I feel like this joint dropped in 1978. Right? I mean, let me check the date on this again. Hold on.
That's 2021.
Sure enough, 2021. This might be you think this is a re-release? Nicki Minaj just re-released "Beat Me Up, Scotty." You know what I'm saying? Sometimes,
of course,
I think if we checked "Beat Me Up, Scotty," it would say 2021 on Spotify, but it really came out back in the day, right? I don't know.
It might. Okay, I get the gist.
Okay. Interesting solo at the end. Q, give me your thoughts, man. Let's jump into this.
I get the gist. I listen. I'm a big fan of old school music. I think that old school sounding music. I think that this kind of gives me Beatles vibes. It kind of gives me, the Monkees vibes. There's a lot of elements attached to this song. I mean, I hear a lot of instruments and a lot of different styles of singing. It's will I play it at a turn up party, or will I play it at a pregame? Probably not. But I mean, I could see this song working as a soundtrack song, like maybe a soundtrack to like a movie based in the 70s. But at the end of the day, I do think that the melody is pretty strong. Melody is pretty strong. I don't love the vocal performances. They just kind of sound a little too nonchalant. You know, there was a back in the day when it came to music, a lot of artists they kind of gave off this like nonchalant sound. This one sounds a little too nonchalant. And at the end of the day, I think the quality of the song is not at the level that I would want it to be. But I do like the idea of it. I do like the approach of it, and I do like some elements like the melodies. So I would probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Obviously, this is not the genre of music we normally review on the show, but you know that's totally fine. We accept all submissions. Yes, we accept all submissions, man.
We're bored.
Well, partially, but listen, I'm open-minded as a music listener. Okay, you know we got to make room for people like that. But anyway, I'm gonna start with my grade. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 5 as well. I think that one of the things that jumped out to me at this song is it sounded more like a musical. You said soundtrack. That's a good one. This joint had musical soundtrack type vibes. And I guess that's a good thing, right? Because if I say any song sounds like a soundtrack, usually that's a compliment. Or usually, right? Like, when have you ever said that and that was an insult or that was a bad thing? Yeah. I don't think I've heard that. So
every song has a place.
Every song has a place. And so I like the instrumentation as always. I'm an instrumentation guy. I even like the solo at the end, which sounded kind of like a violin. That was cool. Musically speaking, I mean, it didn't really do a whole lot for me. The melody, I know you kind of praised the melodies. I wasn't really feeling it. I just wasn't. Maybe it was a product of the vocal performance not being the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, in addition to the quality not being good, the performance just seemed very lackadaisical. It's like, all right, if you went for that was your goal, I guess you knocked it out the park, but that's not something that I'm gonna listen to again. Again, 3 out of 5. I thought it's pretty decent overall with all those things considered. Definitely has a place. So if you're somebody who likes the music that Crimson Discord makes, man, go pull up. And by the way, I still don't know who Cleopatra is and what she did. We didn't get that. I just want to point that out.
Hey, there's Google.
Yeah, whatever. Let's keep it moving. Next song, we got a guy by the name of Richy Rich with a song of his called MoneyMan. MoneyMan.
MoneyMan.
MoneyMan or MoneyMan? Which one?
MoneyMan.
Let's go with MoneyMan. Let's jump right into this. As always, let me know if you can hear this, Q.
There's got to be like 100 different rappers called Richy Rich.
Bro, let's not even get started. We just praised PartTimeLyricist for being unique as a song, for a stage name. Richy Rich is pretty generic. And so is the song title, MoneyMan. I just want to be like, come on, like this joint gotta blow me out the park. Let's hear what Richy Rich got on this song though.
MoneyMan, man. 100 grand.
I've heard this flow / melody before.
Now I'm balling out in my Space Jams. Ayy, MoneyMan.
Okay, pretty generic hook, repetitive as well. Let's keep it going though. I'm a fast forward a bit.
Do what I'm supposed to do. Got my Space Jams on. Now I wanna rock Mason Margiela. Don't wanna go get her. I'm a money maker. I don't catch no feelings because I'm like Shaw. 100 grand. Tax a motherfucker.
All right. You know what, Q? Let me do the honors, please.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
I'll try to be brief. I'm not really feeling it. I think MoneyMan. I'm sorry, his name's not MoneyMan. There's actually a rapper named MoneyMan. Do you know that? By the way, that's probably random. I don't think anybody really knows who he is like that, but still, to me, the song is pretty much just as generic as the song title and your rap name. Look, I didn't hear anything that really stood out. Again, I'm just, bro, it's not even an insult. It's generic to me. It's just generic raps. It's generic song content. Even the beat is just pretty. The beat is decent. Okay, I'll give the beat some props, I suppose.
It's generic. It's
still generic though, right? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I didn't hear anything that stood out. This is kind of like what I got from this song was really not that much. I really got stereotypical cookie cutter bars, cookie cutter everything, even the swag. Like, it just didn't hear anything that was specific enough. So I can't really elevate this song and really praise it too much, man. I'm gonna give this song 2 out of 5. It's generic.
I think I agree. I mean, so I want to use MoneyMan as an example.
No, his name's Richy Rich, man.
Sorry, Richy Rich. I want to use Richy Rich as an example that I've been seeing a lot lately. As of late, there's been artists that have been bringing out singles that sound like freestyles, and they probably are freestyles. And so these artists that are on the come up are thinking that, like, you know, oh, I can have this song that's like mad, like freestylish and generic. And I think that somebody that's on the come up needs to realize that you can do that when you're a bigger artist. Like Drake can do that. Like Drake can do the little 3 a.m. in Toronto because, you know, people care about Drake as an artist. Kendrick can do these freestyles. J. Cole can do these freestyles because they've established their brands. For an up and coming artist, yes, it's cool to have like a song that sounds like a straight up freestyle, but it's not going to move the needle. This to me sounds like a freestyle song that maybe if Richy Rich, we knew, like, you know, we've known him for a long time. We've come to love him as a rapper, come to love him as an artist. Maybe this song would hit differently. But as an up and coming artist, I just think that making songs that sound like straight up freestyles, just simple rap songs, it's not a good move to make when you want to impress, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if you go for and by the way, we don't know if this was we don't know if he actually was freestyling, but it definitely sounds like a freestyle. And even I would argue some of the bars sounded very freestyle like. You know, like when you hear somebody rapping, like,
yeah, exactly.
The way they're flowing is not, they're switching up the things they're saying. They're kind of being repetitive. They bringing back the same shit they said earlier. It's like, okay, like maybe you could have took a little bit more time and maybe wrote out the
end of the day,
and the song would have been a little better. But because you didn't do it, it's like we got to acknowledge the song for what it is. It sounds like a freestyle.
And at the end of the day, a freestyle is not a great song. A freestyle is not a good, like anybody that freestyles over a song, it's not supposed to be the greatest song. You're supposed to be paying attention to the raps. So you got to be a really good freestyler to move the needle with a song that sounds like a freestyle song. So agreed.
I think we're on the same page. So what was your grade again? I don't, what did you say?
I said same thing. 2 out of 5, probably.
All right. Bet. Well, regardless though, man, Richy Rich, thank you for your submission. We appreciate it. Same thing with everybody else we did before. Now let's get into the next artist, who by the way is Don Jones. He dropped a new, I call it an album, but it's really only 3 songs, so I don't know.
Don Jones or Donnell Jones? Donnell Jones made the show again?
Donnell Jones, bruh. Remember earlier in the show when we said we had an album review for Don Jones? We weren't talking about Donnell Jones. We were talking about Don Jones.
Don Jones. Okay, Don Jones. Okay.
Man, let's get into it, man. This is a little 3-pack.
Little 3-pack Shakur. 3-pack Shakur.
3-pack Shakur, man. Let's get into this. Apollo Season by Don Jones. First song is Icy 3 times. Let me know if you can hear this.
Yeah. I see, ay, sipping on the high C, ooh, connect like a Cyrus. Told you,
high C.
And if I lose,
Are you supposed to sip on high C?
I hope that you stay by my side. Sacrifice a lot, but not my blues fade.
Sacrifice a lot. You can hear the UK accent flowing through. You can hear it. Yeah. Let's jump into the next song, man. Next song is Stargazing. Let's hear it. I know how you like to always highlight how a song starts and how long the song takes to drop the beat. Let's pay attention to that.
French girl, blonde hair, bad ways. In 2C, looking in a mosaic. Yeah, we could catch a vibe on my side. Look, body so hot, so I should climb it. Yeah, French girl, blonde hair, bad ways. Yeah, 2C, looking in a mosaic. Yeah, we could catch a vibe on my side.
Fantastic hook.
You about to say?
So it's a fantastic hook.
I think so, man. Let me jump right into. Let's get to the verses. Hopefully, is this a song full of hooks? All right, I think the hook is pretty decent. Let's get to the next song. Cold, next and last song. Let's jump.
Beats by Vizion.
By the way, this album is out. I think it came out. What was it? Yesterday? Yeah, dropped yesterday.
I've been feeling so cold. White range iced up. White range iced up. I've been feeling so cold. I've been feeling so cold. I've been feeling so cold. White range iced out, rose gold. Lately I've been so cold. I done climatized now. I'm receiving tenfold.
All right, Q, we've heard it. Hopefully you guys heard those snippets. If you want to go back and check the full project, it's on Spotify, it's on every platform. Yeah, but Q, let's jump into this album review, even though I say album loosely because it was 3 songs. What are your thoughts, bro?
It's a vibe. I'm not gonna lie, it's a vibe. I mean, that's the type of song that, like, I gotta be in a certain type of project. I gotta be in a certain mood to listen to. Like, you know, if I'm just laying down, chilling, vibing, good energy around me, like, I play that project because he has a very gentle voice, right? And some of the instrumentals that he chose to sing and rap over are very therapeutic sounding, like, for the ears. You know, I do find it interesting. Like, you know, you were like, I think it was for Stargazing. You're like, I can't quite find the hook, or I can't quite find his verses. So it looks like he seems like somebody that loves to get lost in the music, like lost in the music. I'm talking like he's miles away from the next highway type lost in the music. And it's definitely a dope thing for somebody that also gets lost in the music that somebody gives you. But I can see it being difficult. Like, this project is not for everyone. This project is not for everyone. I think you have to appreciate his sound. You got to appreciate somebody who's just vibing. And so, do I love it? I don't love it. I do think it highlights his skills, what he does really well. And then also I do think it's a great setup to what he's can potentially do in the next project.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll say this. I really like when artists drop, you know, what I would consider this an EP. I like when artists drop little short sample tracks to short sample projects to kind of get people excited about whatever it is that they're putting out next. So that's a really good point. And you know, maybe he is planning a project that's much longer to come in the near future. We shall see. But 3 songs, very digestible. I think that if I'm ranking the songs, my personal ranking is I'll probably go with Cold. Cold was the one that stood out to me. It just had like that kind of melancholy vibe that I think I feel like he was going for in this project. I mean, if you even look at the album artwork, it was, you know, it's like a planet. You know, he has this like spacely theme going, and I think that if from a production standpoint, it matches the imagery. I really like when artists do that. So that's props to you or whoever else was involved in kind of putting together the concept for the project. So I think that's really good. Straight up, we don't really give artists and just kind of creatives enough props when they are able to put together a full package with when the music matches the imagery and everything. So that I think he nailed that.
I think that's key. I think that's key.
Yeah. So, but musically speaking, Cold was the one that stood out to me. I think he is somebody who probably veers more towards like creating hooks that are memorable. And so, shout out to you, man, because I think that if we're being real, hooks are what is going to allow you to, I think, create that longevity. You know, have a career that can really allow you to collaborate with other artists. When you're somebody who does great hooks, you know, you're going to easily come to somebody's mind when you can deliver a hook. And I thought all three hooks were really good on these three songs. So other than that, man, I don't really have anything else to say. I thought it was a it was a good project overall. It was good. I'll say that.
I think
it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
I think he has a lane. He runs with the soft hip hop lane. He runs with it.
Melody driven,
runs miles with it.
Keep doubling down on that, by the way, Don Jones. I think
that's
you on to something. You on to something with that lane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Overall, though, like I know we normally give grades to songs, but if you had to give this a rating, what would you say out of 5?
C+. Maybe like a 3.5.
No, I say out of
3.5 out of 5.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I think I can't really give this like a 4 or 5. Definitely not a 5. I can't really give it a 4. 4 would be like a B to me.
Yeah.
This to me is around the C+, where it's like I can see the music being better.
Good
I can see him doing more. And so this doesn't seem like the best of his work. I feel like he has another gear to get to, and we shall see, man. But shout out to you, Don Jones, for you know what I'm saying, submitting your music, and we hope to hear more from you in the future, man.
Yes,
let's get it. You were on everybody that submitted their song and that made it on this special episode, man. This is episode 100. Y'all made history along with us, man. Listen, we gave you a bad grade. It doesn't matter. We made up for it because you're a part of episode 100. I don't know how that makes any sense, but damn it, it makes sense to me. Let's go, man. I know, man. It doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. But no, I think it's time to get out of here, man. Let's go. I think we've given the people enough music reviews and topics. Don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Make sure check us out. We're not going nowhere. Episode 100.
Bow.
Check me out. Ratings Game Music. I'm a writer on there.
Yes, sir.
Head honcho. Check me up on Twitter. I'm gonna try to amp that up. Check me out on here. Every on every Instagram post that we post. Check me out on there just in case you forget all the craziness. We chop it up for you in a way that reminds you that you know we got some good takes and some crazy takes. And just, you know, I appreciate you guys as listeners, because if we didn't get the reception that we got, we would not have made it to 100, because, you know, it's hard to garner up energy to do this every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The motivation is that people want to hear this. The motivation is it allows people to dig deep into hip hop. There's hip hop, the music part, but then there's also the political part. There's also the emotional part. There's also the relatability part. There's also the real part. And I'm just blessed to be able to be on this thing for 100 episodes, trying to give you what I think about each part of hip hop in a form that I hope is enjoyable to you guys. So once again, I am truly thankful. I'm amazed that we made it to 100, and let's get to 100 more.
Damn, bro. Like you just sound like you accepted an award. God,
I did.
Like, were you
were
you on a stage like giving a speech? Like that was a speech right there.
Damn right.
That was nice, man. I didn't know you was gonna get in that bag just now, but
Hey,
look, you're everything you said, man. Hopefully that was received. Because no, for real, if in all seriousness, man, you know, sometimes it's cool to give people you rock with the affirmation, you know what I'm saying, that you rock with them. Because you're right, man. Like if people weren't really vibing with it, like what we're doing this long, we may have stopped. We may have. I'm not saying we would have, but I will say, like, y'all support, you know, the people who rock with us, social media, everything that y'all say. I don't care if you agree or not with our takes. Just the simple fact that you see our platform growing and you see us trying to have nuanced conversations around hip hop. We try not to get into the bullshit fluff on this show because it's like we want to have meaningful debates and meaningful discussions, I should say. And we hope that we're giving you guys that, because that is definitely the intent. And so if I had a drink right now, I would raise my glass and say, here's to 100 more. But, you know, listen, I'm still hungover from yesterday, Q. I can't do it.
That's true. Still hungover. Taking some shots.
So imaginary glass. Imaginary glass. This is to y'all for showing up. This is to Q. Hey, 100 more, damn it. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. 100 more. Let's bring it.
As always, if you're giving advice, make sure it's ill and always keep it 8 more than 92 with it.
Okay, that's 3 times.
100.
You're getting fined. That's 3. That's the 3rd time you're getting fined.
100.